writing this while PMSing is wild, but you know what? We're gonna take advantage of our PMS symptoms. Hello friends and enemies, welcome to day 27 of Writemas, aka Vlogmas Writing Edition. Now I know we have already passed Christmas, but if we are following the Catholic calendar, and I am Filipino Catholic, it is technically Christmas season, so I can still call this Writemas and Vlogmas. Regardless, my goal was to write 50,000 words for the month of December, and so that's what we're doing. Or at least that's what we're trying to do. I don't have a day 26 because I spent the whole day out at my cousin's apartment. It was mostly just a day where we're eating leftovers, drinking, hanging out as a family, and just like a lot of other shenanigans that we didn't do on Christmas Eve. So now we're back. We're still recovering from all those shenanigans. And we're gonna try our best to finish out this month with a bang. And hopefully that bang means 50,000 words written. So last writing session was mostly just trying to write the aftermath of the first spicy scene of the book. And it was a lot of just like addressing feelings and whatnot and trying to figure out if the pacing of everything was okay. I did like very teeny tiny writing in the early hours of the morning. Like Scrivener literally says that I wrote 32 words. So it's not a lot, but just like a little bit. Because I was trying to figure out the whole pacing issue of just like what is like too much, too fast, or if like this is just enough. And it made me realize, oh, I had written some stuff in previous chapters that like it would make logical sense for it to like get to this pacing. I feel like sometimes in the moments when I'm just like doing writing sprints, I forget what I had written already. So I'm just like, oh yes, let's like build upon what we have already written and established so far in the story. So I think that's going to be my main writing goal for today. It says that my session target for today is 4,493 words. I don't know if we're gonna get to that, but we can try. We did have that random day where I did write 4,000 words, so maybe I'll just be like overcome with the spirits of like fluff and smut. So I'm gonna stop yapping and we're gonna get into our first writing sprint. Hello, it is 9:43. I just finished up my first writing sprint and my total word count for tonight is 244 words. I started working on the chapter that I had left off with the last session. I don't know what compelled me, but I was like, you know what I want to do right now? I want to cry. So I started working on a flashback scene that was just like, I knew it was going to be painful and I knew it was going to break my heart and make me cry. I hadn't gotten to the crying part yet, but I think we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. You're gonna see me cry on camera tonight. I don't know where I'm gonna put it in terms of like placing it within the plot of the story. It is a pretty important flashback scene though. It's definitely going to be somewhere around like the climax of the story. So I was like, you know what? While I'm in the mood to shed some tears and just like be in pain, let me just like type this out. So I'm gonna work on that for a bit and then probably eventually get back to like the present day timeline. Overall, not too bad. So I'm gonna go on a break, refill my water bottle because it's empty and I'm real thirsty, get back into writing and see y'all after the next writing sprint. Hello, it is 10:12. I just finished up a writing sprint. My total word count for tonight is 892 words. I feel like I'm doing really well with this writing sprint so far. I don't know if I'm just like energized, if I'm just like in my feelings. I have admittedly been very emotionally sensitive today. Just like a lot of things just like ticking me off or like tipping me over the edge. I did watch Beyonce Bowl because it finally dropped on Netflix and I cried throughout the entire thing. Like no notes, just it was a lot. And I was driving today and I was just like, I'm feeling the road rage, just everything. I was also driving for like longer than I usually do, so I was just like, I can't do this right now. Probably because I have my period soon. I'm usually like a little topsy-turvy with my emotions before then, so we're just gonna use that to our advantage. I don't know what it is, but recently I've been very attached to the song False Starts by Zayn. There's just something about it that like scratches a certain itch in my brain. Like I don't know what it is. I really want someone to do like a deep dive and the explanation of the lyrics because I want to dissect it with someone because it's so good. So that's what I'm currently listening to right now and that's what I put on my writing playlist. I feel like a lot of Zayn's music and his personal history with like fame and everything really fits the female main character. That's also probably why I added a lot of Zayn songs to the writing playlist because like he's pretty famous for not wanting to be in the spotlight. Like he was originally like going back into the spotlight with his new album and the promos for it and his tour. But obviously, like, Liam Payne's death is also weighing on him. And I think the pressures of like being in the spotlight would be something that my female main character could relate to. So I'm just gonna be crying and like typing away while False Starts plays in the background. That being said, I'm gonna take a short break, get back into writing, and catch y'all after the next writing sprint. Hello, it is 10:43. I just finished up a writing sprint. My total word count for tonight is 1,709 words. We're doing pretty well with this writing sprint, not gonna lie. Even though we're doing a lot of copying and pasting, we're doing pretty well. I'm adding in like a few new bits to this flashback scene that wasn't in previous drafts. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be angsty. This is an angsty little story. There's nothing calm about this rom, which I feel like is a little bit of a challenge because I feel like a lot of like romance books right now are specifically rom-coms. Like, sure, I think there are some funny parts in my book. Like, I think I'm a funny person, but I wouldn't say that they're like comedic in a sense. That's just like not the vibe, and that's totally fine. When I'm writing my romance novels, they tend to go from smutty to angsty. Like, I want it to be smutty and I want it to be angsty. I just can't seem to find a balance between both. But we're almost done with this flashback scene. Even though I don't know where exactly it's gonna be placed, I know I'm gonna use it eventually. Like, I can already imagine like what the present day scene would be attached to this flashback scene, because it feels like a very poignant part of their emotional arcs for both the female main character and the male main character. So we'll see how that goes and just keep it in our back pocket for now. I should be able to finish up the flashback scene and then head back into what I was previously working on. I just knew I wanted to work on this because one, I can easily just get words on the page, and two, I didn't want to forget about it. So I will go on a break, finish up this flashback scene, and then catch up with y'all after the writing sprint. Hello, it is 11:12. I just finished up a writing sprint. My total word count for tonight is 2,193 words. This is a very long flashback scene. I just finished it and I started crying at the end. I don't want to give it away because I'm pretty sure this is going to be at the climatic arc of the story. I'm just like, wow, I don't even know how to describe what kind of tears these are. Like bittersweet tears? I don't know. I think I'm just like healing part of me with not just this flashback scene, but like this project. I'm sorry. I mentioned in a previous vlog that I'm someone who has a lot of regrets in my life. And like on a similar note, I feel like a lot of myself is in this project. Just like a lot of things addressing like my own personal things about like romance and relationships and kind of just like how I feel about myself. Just like the main character's attitude towards a lot of things. Life, relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, family relationships. It's very much drawn from my own experience, and I think that's also just like a big reason as to why it's been so hard for me to finish this project, just because so much of it is just like tackling like those parts of me that I don't quite get to address a lot of the times, or I keep like locked away. So like in a way, this project is very healing for me, and I really hope that it gets to heal other people in a similar ways, people who have like gone through similar things or just like feeling similar things. I think that's just like one of my favorite things about like books and stories and whatnot, is like the ways and like they can unexpectedly touch people's hearts and just like tap into things that many people don't think about too often. I'm writing this while PMSing is wild, but you know what, we're gonna take advantage of our PMS symptoms. In the draft target, I have now 50,221 words, and for the month of December, I have officially written 44,465 words in the draft. So, progress. We are using our PMS symptoms to our advantage. I am going to take a break, compose myself, drink some water because crying is very dehydrating, get back into writing, and then catch y'all after the next writing sprint. Hello, it is 11:51. I just finished up my writing sprint and my total word count for tonight is 2,108 words. I feel like we didn't add a lot for this writing session. I just jumped into a few chapters and kind of just like added little details here and there. So like word count wise, we haven't made too much progress with this. Plot wise and just like development wise, I feel like we made some progress. Like I've mentioned before in a few other vlogs, I'm a very much like hands-on learner. So I feel like I'm learning a lot just about the story and just like storytelling techniques as I'm writing. Like, yeah, I'm a visual learner and like a hands-on tactile learner. So like reading stories, watching stories, that helps me with like figuring out how to tell my own stories. But also I gotta like do the thing to learn how to do it. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now with these chapters. I'm learning how to make it better as I'm writing, which is kind of like why I feel like I do a lot of edit as I write and why I do a lot of just like copying and pasting and editing as I go for like previous drafts into this draft, because I feel like I tend to see where I can improve upon as I'm writing. Like I have yet to like sit down and like read a draft and just kind of like read through it fully, take notes on it and then edit it. I'm someone who has to like read through it and be like, no, I can make it better and do it right then and there. I should probably try that editing process at some point, but like right now we're just going, we're just typing. I think I want to try like 1 or 2 more writing sprints before I'm done with tonight. I've just been so sociable for the past few days. My social battery is just like, so I will take a break, get into the next writing sprint and catch up with y'all afterwards. Hello, it is 12:29 a.m. I just finished up a writing sprint. My total word count for tonight is 2,721 words. We're still cleaning up a bit of our previous chapters, but we're making progress. I'm working on a flashback scene right now, and for some reason I thought that I had the POVs of the flashbacks alternating. Right now, I'm just doing it as like spring term, fall term, spring term, fall term. I thought like a fall term corresponded with one of the POVs and the spring term corresponded with the other POV. I don't know what it is about my brain, but like I like to have it organized like that, like very strict alternating POVs. But at least with the flashbacks, that doesn't seem to be the case. So I get to decide whose POV is for what flashback. A term is not assigned to a specific person. I could have the male POV be in the fall and the spring term. I could be the female POV, me for like the spring term, the fall term, just whatever years. So I'm like, great, I love that. Like in theory, I can apply that too with the present day scenes, but I don't know. That's something that we can figure out later down the line after we finish this draft. Right now, we're just here to tell the story, I think I could fit in 1 more writing sprint before I go to bed, just because I'm liking the progress that I'm making right now with the flashback scene, and then I can probably fit in a little tweaks here and there with other chapters that I was working on. But overall, not bad, not bad. I am excited for 1 flashback scene because I might jump into that and just do it just because, and also just because I want to play around with the concept and see where it goes. Because doing that might also help me with figuring out the present day scenes, since like whatever's happening in the flashback scene mirrors what happens in the present day scene. Like basically right now they're just 2 parallel timelines that are happening at the same time. Parallel love stories, it's just history's repeating itself. So I'm gonna go on my break, ruminate on this a little bit, go back into writing, and catch up with y'all after the writing sprint. Hello, it is 1:19 a.m. I finished up a writing sprint. My total word count for tonight is 3,066 words. I'm really loving how this draft is going. There's just like so many like little details and things that I'm really enjoying and discovering as I write. Like most of the session was just going in here and there and tweaking a few things that I had already written, like filling in details that I had placeholders for, switching up a few things just to add a bit more clarification, and overall just like having a great time. There's still like so many things that I still need to address in different chapters, but I feel like at this point that if I'm feeling stuck on something, I could just move to something else and that will help inspire me to go fix like previous issues that I was having. Even if it's not like directly related to it, there's definitely like a lot of things that I still need to fix and things that I need to edit. But right now I'm really enjoying just what I have and just like what I'm developing and thinking of next. With that, I think it's time for me to call it a night. We made a lot of progress, we did some healing, both me and my characters. So I'd call that a success. Thank you for joining me in my writing and my yapping. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!